All right, guys. So what we're looking at today is we're continuing on with inequalities. But today we're looking at solving inequalities with addition and subtraction. So most of what we'll be doing today is adding or subtracting something from both sides. Because adding the same number to both sides of an equality produces an equivalent inequality. So we can add the same thing to both sides or subtract it. So kind of like what we did with equations in last chapter, we can do the same thing with equalities. So our first one, we have x minus 6 is less than or equal to negative 10. And when we solve an equality, we want to get the variable by itself. So looking at this here, x minus 6. So what is with x? The negative 6, yes? So we want to get rid of it. We want to simplify it so we just have x by itself. So what can we do to both sides to get x by itself? We can add what? 6. Because negative 6 plus 6 is 0. So we get x. What is negative 10 plus 6? What is negative 10 plus 6? Negative 4. And the inequality sign stays the same. Since it's greater than or equal to, it will stay greater than or equal to. Now to graph it, we find where x is negative 4, and we put a circle. Now will it be opened or closed? It'll be closed. Now will we shade to the left or to the right? So what is it saying? X is, which one's bigger, x or negative 4? X is bigger, isn't it? So where are the numbers bigger? To the right. So we shade to the right because we're shading the values of x that are greater than or equal to negative 4. And that's all we have to do for this one here. Questions on this here? Any questions on anything we've done so far? So let's look at another one. X minus 5 is less than negative 3. X minus 5 is less than negative 3. So again, we want to get the variable by itself. So what's with the variable? So what's with our variable here? The what? Negative 5, yes? So what would I need to do to get rid of the negative 5 on the left side? We need to add what to both sides? We need to add 5 to both sides because negative 5 plus 5 is 0. Those cancel. I'm left with x. Negative 3 plus 5 is? Exactly. And we leave the inequality sign the same. We didn't do anything to it. So it stays x is less than 2. So when we graph it, the main point that we have is at 2. Yes? And at 2, we put a circle. And is it opened or closed? It's open because we don't have equal to. It's x is less than 2. We don't have x is equal to or less than or equal to. It's just less than. And so are the values of x bigger than 2 or smaller than 2? The values of x should be what? Bigger or smaller? Smaller because it's less than, yes? So left or right, which direction goes smaller than 2? To the left. And that's all we have to do for this here. Questions on either one of these here so far? Any questions on any of these so far? All right, going the wrong direction. So looking at this here, so we have b minus 2 is greater than negative 9. So what variable are we getting by itself? We're getting the value of b, yes? And what's with b? Negative 2, because we have b minus 2. Yes? We want b by itself. So what can I do to both sides to get b by itself? So since it's minus 2, we would do the opposite of subtraction, which would be addition, and we would add 2 to both sides. It's negative 2 plus 2 is 0. They cancel each other out, and I'm left with b is greater than, well, what is negative 9 plus 2? Negative 9 plus 2. You can type it in. Go on. There's nothing wrong with it. Negative 7. So our inequality says b is greater than negative 7. So at 7, we have an open or closed circle. Open because it's not equal to. We just have greater than. We would fill it in if it was greater than or equal to, if it says equal, but it's not equal to. So do we shade to the left or to the right? To the right, because we're saying we want the values greater than it. Questions on this here? M minus 3 is less than or equal to 5. So we want to get what? The value of m by itself. So what would we do to get the value of m by itself? We would so we have m minus 3, yes? So we want to get 3 to the other side. We want to get rid of the 3. Since it's minus 3, we would do what? Add 3. Because the opposite of subtraction is addition. So we would add 3 because negative 3 plus 3 is 0. So we have m by itself is less than or equal to 5 plus 3 is. So we're saying m is less than or equal to 8. So on our number line, we would put 8. The circle, would it be opened or closed? Now, would we shade to the right or to the left? To the left, because we're saying we want the values of m that are less than or equal to 8. That are less than or equal to 8. Any questions on any of this here so far? We good with this here? Yes? Let's look at one more. 1/4 is less than y minus 1/4. So what is with y? What's with our variable? The negative 1/4, yes? So I want to get rid of it. So we're going to have to do something 1/4 to both sides, yes? Now, since it's not with y, it's normally going to be addition or subtraction. What do you think we're going to do? Because it's negative, yes? The opposite of addition is, or so opposite of subtraction is addition. We would add. Because negative 1/4 plus 1/4 is 0, yes? Because these here will cancel. 1/4 plus 1/4 is, well, 2/4, which is 1/2. Because again, since I had y minus 1/4, I add 1/4 to it. Because negative 1/4 plus 1/4 gives me 0. We're trying to get the variable by itself. So we add it to both sides. 1/4 plus 1/4 gives us 2/4, so well, 1/2. Any questions on this here? Now, will the circle be opened or closed? Open because it's not equal to. So 1/2 is greater than y. So what values are bigger? 1/2 or y? So what value is bigger? 1/2 or y? 1/2, yes? 1/2 is greater than y. So all the values of y should be what? Smaller or less than 1/2, yes? So would we shade to the left or to the right? To the left, yes. Questions on this here? Any questions on anything we've done so far? Now we can also have the same thing with subtraction, because all of those, hopefully you notice, were just addition ones, yes? Now, we can subtract the same thing from both sides. So if we have something like this here, y plus 8 is less than or equal to 5. I'm just going to rewrite it so it's a little bit bigger. So if I want to get the value of y by itself, I need to get rid of the 8, yes? So how can I get rid of the 8? I would do what? I can subtract 8 from both sides. Because 8 minus 8 is 0, yes? 8 minus 8 is 0. Now we have to do 5 minus 8, which would give us 3. And it would be negative, yes? Because 8's bigger. 5 minus 8 would give us negative 3. So would the circle be opened or closed? Closed, because it's equal to. Since it's equal to, it'd be filled in. Do we shade to the left or to the right? Because what's bigger? Is y bigger or negative 3 bigger? Because y is what? What is this saying? Is it less than or greater than? So which one is greater? Y or negative 3? Negative 3, yes, because this is less than, isn't it? Y is less than negative 3, so we would shade to the left. And we could test that if we're having, so I can pick negative 2 and negative 4, yes? And we can plug it in. So if I plug negative 2 in, is negative 2 less than or equal to negative 3? Is this a true statement? Is negative 2 less than negative 3? No, right? Negative 2 is greater than negative 3. So we shade on the other side, because negative 4 would be less than or equal to negative 3, yes? So we can check a point. If we're kind of stuck on it, pick a point on one side or the other and check to see, does it make a true statement? Because if it does, then we shade that direction. If it doesn't, we shade the other way. Since negative 2 did not make a true statement, we're shading on the side that doesn't have it. We're shading on the side that doesn't have it. Questions on this here? Now this one here, they gave us a decimal. They gave us 1.4, yes? 1.4 plus m. Now just because it's a decimal doesn't change what we do. We still need to get m by itself. We need to get m by itself. So what can I do with the 1.4 to get rid of it? What would we do to get rid of 1.4? We would subtract it, because even though there's not a sign written in front of 1.4, we know it's positive. Because unless there's a negative sign written there or a subtraction sign, we know it's positive. So we subtract 1.4 from both sides, because 1.4 minus 1.4 will cancel. What is negative 8 minus 1.4? Try it in the calculator. So you do subtract it. Have a good one. So we subtract 1.44 from both sides, and 8 minus 1.4 will give us negative 9.4. So our main point right here would be negative 9.4. Now, would the circle be opened or closed? Open, because it's not equal to. Now, would we shade to the left or to the right? So now you're probably going off of which direction this arrow is going sometimes, yes? That works if m, or the variable, is on the left. Is m on the left? No, so we can't necessarily go which way it's pointing. Well, how do we read this? Negative 9.4 is what? What does this say? What is the name of the symbol? Less than m, yes? So which number are we saying is bigger? M, yes? So all the values should be greater than negative 9.4, yes? So which direction are they greater, to the left or to the right? To the right. So we would shade all the points to the right. Any questions on this here? We good with this here? Do we need to see another? Well, we already did this one, yes? Yeah. And we did that one. So those two got repeated. Do we need to see another example of using this addition or subtraction to find these here? Okay. Flip to the back where there's a blank page at the end of the note sheet. A number plus 8 is greater than 11. A number plus 8 is greater than 11. So fill this in on the back. So we're going to do a few more here. And this is one of them. A number plus 8 is greater than 11. So I'd write that down because that's what we're starting with. A number plus 8 is greater than 11. So how would we write this as an inequality? So what would a number be? Yeah, so a letter. What letter do we want to use? Yeah, we can do X or Y. Either one works. Because we just need to pick one, X or Y. So we'd say what? A number plus 8. So that would be X what? Is. So that would be our statement, yes? X plus 8 is greater than 11. Now what do we need to do? We need to solve it. So we're going to solve it. So how would we solve it? We would subtract 8 from both sides because 8 minus 8 would give us 0. What is 11 minus 8? 11 minus 8 would be? So if we were to graph it, I can just put a number line, yes? And 3. Now, would the circle be opened or closed? Open because it's not equal to. Now, would we shade to the left or to the right? Because x is, so the numbers greater than would be on the right. So we shade all the points on the right. Any questions on this here? We good with this here? Okay. So you'll have some of like that on the homework, and then you'll have some like this on the homework. Now, when we look at these here, we're going to combine like terms. So anything with a variable is like terms, yes? So negative 5z and 6z are like terms, yes? 3 and 6 are like terms. What is negative 5z plus 6z? What is negative 5 plus 6? It's just 1, yes? So I'm left with plus z is greater than 3 plus 6. 3 plus 6 is 9, yes? Then what can we do next? I want to get the variable by itself, yes? So we would do what? I would subtract 18 from both sides, because 18 minus 18 is? What do we get? And it would be negative, because 18 is bigger, yes? 9 minus 18 would give us negative 9. So is z greater than it or less than it? Greater, so we would shade on the left or side or the right side. And that's it. That's it. That's all we have to do for this here.